Good morning, everyone. Oh, you guys, today is the first day of school for all three of the kids. Not me, I have a week before I have to go. Well, I start next Monday, so I have to go in, but it's just to set up the class and get things done. I did not go in today because we needed groceries. So I didn't take you along for all of that, but we are gonna do 2 recipes today for the subscribers cook. I don't remember what I called it. Today it's called subscribers cook. Although I feel like if you guys were the ones cooking, this would be turning out a lot better. Also, I had one person write me and say, I know how you want to stick completely to the recipe, but I don't cook like that. And so when you're cooking like just meals, not desserts or baking, when you're cooking, you can just go off. Like you get the gist of what you're doing and you can go wild with it if you want to add garlic. So I'm following the recipe the first time through as per written instructions, because then I'm giving it a fair chance. And also the next time I make it, you better believe I'm gonna be making it. We like garlic, so for sure, if it asks for 1 clove, I'm adding a lot. Yeah. Today though, I'm starting with a dessert recipe because it says better made the day before. It's 10:30 right now, 10:34. Chewy, I'm talking. Okay. She's like, oh, let me out. No, just give me 2 seconds here. So I'm starting it now because we don't eat, generally we eat between 5:30 and 6. So I think that'll be just fine. It sounds delicious. It's called, why didn't I have this out? It's like, I knew I was coming on to say hi to you guys, and something Mandarin salad, but it's a dessert. It's not really a salad. So I want to get that started, and I thought I'd take you guys along because if I am going to keep 1 video a week, then I better get cracking. And then later on today, I'm going to be making, I can't remember what they have the name as, but it's Porcupine Meatballs. And they grew up with that, but I also grew up with that. And we made it a little bit different, or my mom did. Chewy. But you make it in the pressure cooker. So I'm gonna go off recipe because I have an Instant Pot, but I'm fairly sure an Instant Pot is just an electric pressure cooker, right? So we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully I don't burn it. But the reason that it's called Porcupine Meatballs is just because, for those of you that might not know, is there's rice in the meatballs. So you have you mix it into the mixture. So in a way it looks like little meatballs with little spikes. So, and it is delicious. So I did choose that one. I have had them before, and it's been a long time since I've had them, but I thought they grew up with it, I grew up with it, and if you guys haven't tried it and you like ground beef, I've never tried it with other substitutions like chicken or a non-meat base, but I know for sure the beef version is delicious, and we eat it with, you can eat it with anything. It's meatballs. You can do anything with it, but it has a ketchup kind of gravy. All right, on that, I better let the dog out. He's like just waiting. He's like, come on, I've waited. Come on. It's freezing cold here today, so, oh, I better close the door or the gate unless I want the dog long gone. All right, I will be right back. While I'm waiting for the dog, I'm gonna give you guys a quick, it's not terrible. It's just that we had really hot weather and now it's not. Now it is cold. You can tell that my plants are getting ready for fall because they're looking a little bit like, they know I have wishful thinking about blooms, but my hydrangeas came up way better this year than last year because I guess this is year, I don't know if it counts as year 1 or year 2 for them. I planted them last year, so hold on. These came up. These are so beautiful. I love them so much. And then the hydrangeas are kind of like a white. Yes, last year they were almost kind of a brown. So I really like those a lot. The rest is kind of just green now. The purple sage isn't so purple anymore. We have a tiny bits of purple still, but these are blooming. These wait until fall to bloom. I can never remember what they're called, but I can hear the dog barking. Our grass is starting to finally come in. Ooh, it's colder this way. It's because the house was blocking the our lettuce. I think this is a type of geranium. Everybody was saying it's a type of geranium. And they were out of the same seed package, but apparently they come back every year. Chewy. That poor planter, that's seen some better days. I don't know if Alexander filmed this at all, but we got rid of our set that was here, the picnic table and the chairs, because it was just too hard to sit at. And we ended up getting one of these instead. I can't remember what this is called. Conversation set, something like this. I turned this way because I was watching the dog. It was later at night, and I wanted to make sure no hawks were coming for him. So this gives us so much more room on the deck. But yeah, still my lavender, some chives, and my grandma's, what is this? Clover, the flowering clover. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, it's not turning too much here, but in the city, it's really turning. It's starting to. You can tell that tree's ready to go. Temperature wise, I think we're at like, it's kind of cold. I think it's probably like maybe 12 above out there. It's not terrible, but I can't see my breath. But when you go from like plus 25, this is Celsius, and then you go to 12, it's a shock to the system. If this were in the middle of winter, we'd be out there in shorts, but it's not the middle of winter. All right, let me get on to this. And it looks like a super easy recipe. Okay, let me find out where I wrote it and I will show you guys. All right, I just wrote it out. This is from John Holden. John, thank you so much. Mandarin orange salad, Ritz crackers. So it's just taking the Ritz crackers, crushing them, adding butter and sugar. It said a 1/4 pound, and I figured that's about a 1/2 cup. 1/4 cup of sugar. This all gets mixed together and shoved into pressed into a 9 by 13 by 2 pan. That's my big glass dish. Then a 6-ounce can of frozen orange juice. Thawed. I forgot that it was supposed to be unsweetened, but I don't think that's sweetened. I think it's just orange juice. And then 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, a container of Cool Whip, and 2 small cans of mandarins. So this gets mixed, the orange juice and the milk gets mixed together. Then you fold in the Cool Whip and the mandarins, and then you just put it on top of this layer, and it's said to refrigerate until serving, best if made the day before. I didn't know how much 60 Ritz crackers was, so I got 2 boxes. And lucky for me, the first Tuesday of every month is 15% off Tuesday, so they were on sale, and I got an additional 15%. Yeah, it's funny how much you try to get done on the first day of school. I feel like I should have prepped some stuff, but this will be good because we're having this dessert will probably last a couple of days. And then the meatballs, I ended up buying quite a bit of ground beef. It's just one of those logs, not quite a bit. And so we'll have enough meatballs for today and tomorrow. So I love if you can make more of a meal to freeze. I like doing that because then I could save future Melissa. So future Melissa will be super happy on the days where she does not feel like cooking. So today I'm doing that. I'm making quite a few meatballs, and then whatever we don't eat, I can just put in the freezer and pull it out on a day that I don't feel like cooking. I mean, you still have to heat it up, but I don't think that counts. No. All right, let's get cracking. I actually counted them. In like a 200-gram box of Ritz, it's hard because some are little pieces, you know, like the bottom ones. I counted 56. It said 60. So I feel like a box is fine, but I had 2 boxes, so I took another 4 out of here anyways. But now you know, I would just use a box and a couple more if you have them. Otherwise, I think it's fine because we're just dumping it with sugar and butter. I think it's okay. So I bought, oh, I can't lean that low. Oh my goodness. I bought this one, the Craft Cool Whip. I don't know if there are any other types, but it just says 1 liter on it. It said 8 ounces of Cool Whip. And when I weigh this, it's 11 ounces, but that's including the container. So I'm adding it all. So, I mean, it's just Cool Whip. I think that's fine. I'm not adding anything extra like 3 ounces of salt. We're good. It's light and fluffy. What's a couple extra ounces of Cool Whip? Okay. Didn't think about thawing out the Cool Whip. I'm gonna have to let that, I almost said cool off. I'm gonna have to let that sit for a second while I clean up, and hopefully it'll be more mixable. And then I'll be right back. All right, let's try this again. I'm back. Oh, kind of looks like scrambled eggs. It is not. It's still pretty frozen, but I think it's gonna be more foldable, I hope. It is not. It's okay. I'm a little nervous that it's so runny because in the recipe it just says to refrigerate until ready to eat. But why wouldn't it be runny unless it's supposed to be runny? I'm nervous that it's supposed to be frozen, but I think either way it's gonna be delicious. You probably could freeze it. This reminds me a little bit of a dreamsicle cake. I mean, minus the cake that I've had before. Smells good. Okay, I'm gonna go and put this in the fridge and we'll see it again after supper. It was super easy. It was like one of the easiest desserts I've ever made. I did forget to reserve some Ritz crackers with the butter and sugar for the top. I was gonna just crush some more to put it on top, but I'm not gonna bother. It's in there. It's not gonna change the taste. It's just gonna change the look. So, yeah. I'm actually trying to get quite a bit of prepping done today. That took me a hot minute to get all that done. It is a very fast dessert. I think if you don't mess around, it probably would not take as long as it took me. Setting up filming, trying to find my tripod, all that. Making sure that I could actually do something with the Cool Whip. Yeah. For the Mandarin oranges, sorry you guys, I keep forgetting how close I hold the camera when I'm not looking. For the Mandarin oranges, one of them was packed in light syrup and the other was fruit juice, which I didn't realize until I was draining them. And what I do is I drain, usually I get it with fruit juice or water, but if it's fruit juice, I keep it because we have smoothies in the morning, and then I just add it to the smoothies because I may as well not just waste it. The only thing is that this one, there was one that was with syrup. So ideally I wouldn't want the extra sugar, but I dumped it in there anyways. It'll go in, it'll make it taste delicious. I'll put spinach in there, try to make myself feel better about the amount of syrup I'm gonna put in the smoothies. It's for 5 of us. So if I think about it that way, it'd be fine. So one thing I do like to do, we buy the giant package of Costco carrots. The only thing is then you have to try to find room for this giant thing of Costco carrots. So generally what I do is I chop up a whole bunch. This bag, the seal's broken, but I usually vacuum seal it and then it just stays for like the whole week, which is, but what was why am I in here? Oh yeah. I put the bananas in here because I thought I saw a fruit fly. So I like to peel the bananas and put them in the freezer for smoothies as well. So, and then you can also use it for banana bread if you change your mind and need it for banana bread. But these are probably getting brown anyways in real life. When you put them in the freezer or in the fridge, sometimes the peels go black. I prefer though to freeze them without the peel on because they are gross when you have to take them out of the freezer. If you're running out of time, it's better than nothing, and quick throw them in the freezer, peel and all. But it's so much easier if you freeze them once they're out of their skin and then put them into, I put them into the sealable bags. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these before. They're called Zwilling, and it's by, oh, come on, what are my knives? Henkel. But it's called Zwilling, and they end up having like reusable vacuum sealable bags. I broke the one that my carrots are in right now. I don't know what I did to it, but you just keep washing them out and reusing them. I haven't had a problem until that one bag, but that one bag especially has been very well used. So if you get a chance, especially when they're on Prime sale, that's when I got mine because they're a little bit pricey for the pump. It just comes with this little, I'm not sponsored, but if they were to approach me and ask me to do a thing for them, I gladly would because they're actually good. So it comes with this little pump. It sucks out all the air. It's fantastic. And it for sure prolongs the life of your food. And they also have cases like containers. I accidentally got the plastic one. There's nothing wrong with that, but I prefer glass, so I'm gonna get some glass ones, and it sucks the air out of those too. Man, everything lasts so much longer. And also if you're marinating meats, it for sure marinates so much faster. So I don't know how that works, something about opening the pores, but I've done zero research on that. So, but I do know that it works. Anyway, anywho, I'm gonna peel me some bananas. I wasn't planning on so much of today's video to be in the kitchen, but I guess that's because I'm in the kitchen today. So another thing, you're probably aware, but just in case, I take the peels off of the bananas and I put them, I usually use like 2 or 3 in a mason jar. You fill it up with water and then you let it sit for 2 or 3 days. You add that to your watering jug and you fill it up with water. You dilute it so that you don't have different kind of problems. And it works as a really great fertilizer. I use it on my house plants. I use it on my plants outside. It's just really amazing. I can't remember where I read that, and I tried it out, and also I didn't get fruit flies. Speaking of fruit flies, that sounds like something that you would do. Let's put banana water in our plants, but I haven't been getting fruit flies. Now that we live out, not really in the country, but on an acreage, we do see more bugs because if you let, I mean, it's the same as anywhere, but my kids will talk with the door open when it's like dark outside. So of course you get everything in here. I mean, I'm guilty of that too when I'm calling the dog back inside, but we have a bug zapper. I never thought I would be that person that full on has like makes it feel a little bit more ghetto in my house, but I do not like flies or mosquitoes, especially mosquitoes getting me. I woke up with a big mosquito bite right next to my eye. I mean, it could be worse. I don't think you can get a mosquito bite on your eye, but I feel like that would be worse. See, those are my thoughts while I'm peeling the banana. So what I do is gross, my hands are disgusting, but I lay them flat on a piece of wax paper on a cooking sheet or a cookie tray. I do this for all my fruit, and then I freeze it flat. Then the trick is remembering that you did that, because I have a downstairs freezer, and then I add them to the bags because then they're not all stuck together and it's so much easier. Same with like raspberries and stuff like that. If you freeze it flat and then put it in the bags, you can measure it and get it out rather than it being a big solid clump. If you do have, like for us, when I was growing up with my mom, we had a lot of raspberries. She still has a lot of raspberries. And we would just have to freeze them. Otherwise they'd start going bad. So we didn't get to do that with all of them. But all we would do is we would let it thaw over top of a juice jug, because all of the juices and stuff that would release from the big block of raspberry that was in there, we ended up making into juice anyways. So we had it pretty good. Still, either way works. It's just very convenient to be able to just scoop it out of the bag. Now, how am I going to turn off the camera with my knuckle? So on the weekend, today is Tuesday. On the weekend, we were able to go to Bruderheim, which is north of Edmonton. Yeah, it's north of Edmonton. And we got to go to the Model T races. It was super smoky and very windy, but I did film a little bit. So I'm going to enclose some of the clips that I got from the weekend in here while we wait for supper to happen. Because I think that the only thing I'm doing today is I have to go pick up Abigail from school. And what was I needing to pick up? Oh yeah, rabbit food. I went to go get the bunny some food, and the store didn't open till 10:30, and I was sitting there at 9:30. So he still needs food. So I don't think you guys want to see all that. So here's Bruderheim. All of my vlogs outside have my hair making magic. So today I'm not going to film very much because Alexander's filming, so you can see the actual races on Curiosity Inc. But we came down to Bruderheim for the Model T races today. I've got Jason and Abigail. Steven's back behind Abigail. You're just going to have to trust me.
Yeah, they've taken the entire body off, and you just sit on a couple boards or whatever. Possible. Yeah, and they're gonna.
This is what's happening in the vehicle.
Oh. No, it's not.
No.
Oh. Yeah, I know that guy.
Gotcha.
Alright, we want to make sure you get all your money's worth. So you get a free concert as well. This is my sister, Kayla Hod.
Okay, I'm home from picking up Abigail. So much happens in the transitions. And I'm getting ready to make supper. It calls for 1.5 pounds of hamburger, which is half of this log. The logs are so gross, but they just feel nasty. I am a baby. So I'm gonna follow the instructions. I don't usually use my Instant Pot, but it has a pressure cook setting on it, so I'm guessing that will work. So I'm hoping. I'm gonna follow the recipe, and we'll see how this turns out. But you only have to cook it, you have to have it on pressure cook for 10 minutes and then have a natural release. But because I'm not familiar with an Instant Pot, I have no clue what I'm doing. So there's that. Wish me luck. But I know this, regardless how mine turns out, you guys should try this because it is a delicious recipe. And if this turns out, then anyone can make an Instant Pot work. First things first, it came with a clear, I don't know, seal, whatever this is. I don't know what they're called. And a red one. This one feels thicker. So I have no clue what the difference of those is. So I have to go figure that out first because I don't want to, I've used an Instant Pot before for soup and it had a clear one in it. So I'm not going to try to blow my house up. it locks on. So I mean, we'll see how this goes. We ended up getting this Instant Pot through one of the house clear outs, and somehow it did have the instruction manual, and it says it's sent with 2 because you should use 1 for sweet dishes and 1 for savory. That makes sense because I have only used this for stew, and no matter how much I clean that thing, and I soaked the ring in vinegar, and I don't know if that's safe either. Maybe don't do that. But it still stunk like stew. So if you were gonna make something like cake in there, I don't know what you can make in it actually, if that's possible. I'm guessing you wouldn't want it to taste like stew. Maybe you would, but no, not me. So this is, for those of you that use an Instant Pot all the time, you're probably like, this is gonna be easy, you're gonna love it. I hope that's the case. I have had it, and this will be my first time using this one. I used my mom. She gave me one to see if I would use one to justify if I wanted to buy one or not. And I just didn't use it. I used it just for soup, and I'm just fine using a pot for that. So if this is delicious and works well, I for sure would use it for this. Chewy, he waits until I'm on the phone. I'm filming on my phone, but all right, let me get this all together. I'm gonna serve it with, they serve it with rice and vegetables. I'm gonna serve it with mashed potatoes and carrots, because I have that giant bag of carrots in the fridge that needs to be eaten up. So yeah, that is what's happening tonight. Yeah. Okay, you guys. I'm sure you must know, but I am most definitely not a professional chef. I wing it, and you can wing it too, unless you're a professional chef. Then I wish I was at your house. All right, this one, I mean, for both of them, I'll have the recipe linked down below, because I don't have the recipe written out for this one. I just took a screenshot of it on my phone. But it called for 2 cans of tomato soup, and I could only find the light version. I'm not a big fan of when things say light, or most definitely not sugar-free, because that usually always has some kind of fake sugar in it. But 2 cans of tomato soup and 1 can of water. I mean, yeah, just the same can, just rinse it out. So that is what I'm doing right now. And it said to heat it up in the pressure cooker, and then add the meatballs, and then cook it for 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna double check the instructions. I look so tired on this. I mean, you can tell this has been the end of the day. Well, see, it's because I am tired and I'm getting hungry. All right, I wrote it out really roughly just for myself to cook. 1.5 pounds of ground beef, 1/2 cup of rice, tablespoon of dried minced onions, salt, pepper, 2 cans of, that looks like Canton, 2 cans of tomato soup, 1 can of water, stir and heat the soup, then add the meatballs, cook in pressure for 10 minutes, and then it said release on its own. I think that's called the natural release. So that is what I'm aiming to do. So first step, dumping this in here. You guys, I was putting the potatoes, I already peeled the potatoes to get them, have them prepped, ready to go. But what do you think I was making over here? I made a big batch of purple Play-Doh for my class on Monday, and I also made it smell like lavender. So getting smarter. Relax those kids. They can be squeezing some Play-Doh, have that lavender scent. It can never be too strong because you never know what anybody's sensitivities are. We have sheets that go out and everybody lets me know, but that being said, I know for me, I have scent sensitivity, so I appreciate making sure that I don't do that to other people either, even if it's a natural scent. All right, so I made the meatballs. The only thing that I went off I have had this before, and I know that we like a lot of pepper, so I put more pepper in it. And also I put garlic powder, of course I did. After all that talking about how much we like garlic powder had to go in. So I wasn't sure how to heat up the soup. The only button that I saw that really worked for heating was the saute. Oh, I guess slow cook could have done, but this seems to be working just fine. So it says just to put the meatballs into the hot molten lava. And then I'm hoping that there's gonna be a setting that tells me that I can just do it for 10 minutes and everything's gonna just work out fine, so. All right, crossing my fingers. It said 0, ... and then you could put the numbers up. So I put it to 10, but I don't know if that's 10 seconds or 10 minutes. So here's hoping that it's 10 minutes. It'll raise up to temperature, I'm guessing, get the pressure going, and then start the countdown. Guess we're gonna find out. So, Instant Pot, I've learned, is not so instant. It didn't take very long to come up to pressure for the 10 minutes pressure cook, but the release, I'm at 33 minutes so far. I don't know why I thought it was gonna be quicker. So everything's done and I'm trying to keep it warm, but you know what vegetables are like. It's just gonna be mush. Well, now I know. I think it might be faster doing it in the stove, but the way my mom does it is with the pressure cooker, and the recipe called for a pressure cooker. I guess if you know how long it's gonna take, then you just accommodate for it. But so far it's 6:30 and we usually eat at 5:30. So there's that. But it's delicious though. So this was human error. It's at 42 minutes. I decided that's long enough. It still showed that it was like really high temperature, and the little part that's supposed to drop down did not drop down. So I did a quick release and no steam came out. So these are gonna be really cooked, but it smells right. It smells delicious. Pro plating, my meatball rolled off. Looks really good. I ended up just making meatballs, the meatballs, mashed potatoes with some dill, carrots, and then a green salad. So it's just carrots. Carrots are not green. Salad, cucumber, edamame. What is this? Pumpkin seeds and avocado in there, and a raspberry vinaigrette. I had to tell everybody that I was gonna film because Abigail's sitting beside me going, hot. I mean, it's been in the pressure cooker for how long? I've already been eating it. It's good. You guys should try it.
It's hot.
I have no clue how long it actually takes. But I know that at the 40-minute natural release mark, it doesn't taste overcooked. It's not super chewy or anything. It's really good. Supper's done. Everybody is too full for dessert, so we're gonna wait a little bit. But verdict was that it was delicious. So I would say that it's very similar to what I remember. That is the closest to my mom's porcupine meatballs that I've ever had. So that was extremely nostalgic, and I absolutely will be making it again. And I will use the Instant Pot because there was a huge difference between making it in a pressure cooker than just baking it in the stove. It was perfect. It was not dry. The rice was cooked perfectly. I was a little nervous because it just said rice, so you don't know if that's minute rice. I ended up using jasmine rice, but that's just what we have because it's my favorite. But yeah, I would give it, I don't know, I think it was delicious. I mean, it was a very simple recipe. The only thing I did change otherwise than adding some garlic was that I squirted in some ketchup. I don't have the measurements. I did like that much. You're welcome for that sound effect. Because it was light tomato soup, I noticed that it was much thinner than regular tomato soup. So I added some tomato. Plus my mom used to do half tomato soup and half ketchup. So anyways, I'm sure it would taste exactly the same with just tomato soup. But yeah, I think I give it 9 out of 10. I absolutely will be making it again. It's something that I grew up with, and it was also what I believe this was Marcy's. Marcy sent me this, so thank you so much. I can't wait to try dessert. Supper was amazing. Well, it looks like it actually held up pretty good. Hold on, let's open that. Oh my goodness. It's really in there. All right, let's find out how this tastes. I was asking the kids what they thought, but they like polished it off already. Oh, sorry. I'm not aiming at you, I'm aiming at me. You like stopped eating like this. They said it tastes like creamsicle.
It does.
Very orangey. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It doesn't taste like creamsicle. It tastes like, I don't know what it tastes like. It tastes like deliciousness. What do you think? Just a thumbs up. I would recommend to try it for sure. Jason's already polishing his off, actually. Somehow I seem to always be in kind of this area when I end my videos. Thank you so much to Marcy and to John for the recipe suggestions. Both turned out amazing. Thank goodness. It was so good. I didn't mess them all up. And we have enough dessert to have some tomorrow. There were only 3 meatballs left, but that's still enough for me to have for lunch tomorrow. So I hope that you guys get a chance to try it. Thank you so much for coming along with me again today on this adventure. And we will see you again. I will see you again in the next vlog. Bye, everyone.